our live show is our best part. I think that's just what we look forward to the most. We would actually prefer that someone hear our band for the first time at a live state champ show rather than even on record. I mean, either or is fine, obviously.
It's the ins and outs, with Mackie.
Hi, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they are out. Be sure to read in the description how you can win a mic. So our guests today are a New York-based pop punk band that started out in 2010 and have catapulted from upstate upstarts to arenas, rocking the main stage of the Vans Warped Tour, and sharing the stage with some hard-hitting names like 5 Seconds of Summer, Fall Out Boy, Newfound Glory, and so many more. They have made their marks on the magazine covers of alternative press and rock sound and are here to talk about their trio of studio albums, another new album on the horizon, and how they have worked hard to establish their sound and their roots. Welcome to the show, State Champs.
Thanks
what
for
an
having
intro.
us. Yeah, can you do that every time?
That was awesome. Thank you.
Yes, I can. Well,
no, it's good to be
welcome
here.
Welcome to the show. We've got Derek, Tyler, Ryan.
Yep.
We're all here.
How's it going? We're all here in the
You're all
flesh.
here, and you're all getting packed up to go on tour, I hear.
Finally,
Oh, yeah.
after 2 years or so, we finally are ready to hit the road again. It's our favorite part about our job, and we missed it so much.
I bet. Well, I can't wait to get into it. So let's start at the beginning with Derek and Tyler, who I've heard are the original members, correct?
We are the OGs, if you will.
The founding fathers.
How did you come together, and when did you feel you found your true match with Ryan and Evan?
Oh my gosh.
It took a little while, I'd say. We've been through some member changes, but yeah, like we said, we started in 2010. Thinking about that now makes us seem pretty old, but I like to think we're not that old yet. Because when we started in 2010, we were both in high school. Well, I think
you were in your senior year. I was in my freshman
senior
year of community college. So
Yep, that's right. And growing up, like throughout like middle school and high school, myself and Tyler were in bands in our local area of upstate New York. And we were actually in like more like heavier bands, like metal and hardcore bands. We come from that style of scene up in like the capital region of New York. So, but on the, like low key on the side, we also really liked pop punk music, and that was kind of like our side passion, if you will. And one day we just got sick of screaming in metalcore bands and playing hard, like heavy music, and we were like, let's hang out in my basement and cover Fall Out Boy songs and Newfound Glory songs and Cartel songs, which were our favorite bands at the time that we didn't really talk about too much because we were friends with all the people that liked heavier music. So we were kind of an outcast.
it like wasn't cool. So we were doing it in secret for a minute, but then we just started. I mean, pop punk kind of came at that time too. Like more and more pop punk bands would come to town. So I mean, that's why we like put a name on the band. We got our first show and we didn't have a name yet. We're like,
that's right.
Well, we have to have a band name to be on the flyers. So.
Yeah, and then there was a bit of a revival of the pop punk genre, I think, in the right time for when we were just breaking out as well. When we started playing local shows, like it became cooler all of a sudden, and we were kind of leading the way in our local scene. So like we had like really good support from friends and family and promoters and from like small clubs and small venues in our area. And then it branched out to doing little weekend tours on the side in the Northeast area. It's great to be from the Northeast of the US because you can travel to so many outskirts cities, like from where we're from in Albany, New York. We can go to Massachusetts, we can go to Boston, we can go to Connecticut, we can go to Vermont, we can play in New York City, we can go to Montreal if we want to.
Your tour is right there.
Yeah, so many different spots to hit when we were first starting. But yeah, we've been through some member changes, but it was up until, I mean, when did we find Evan and Ryan? It's been a long time at this point.
Yeah, we found Evan in 2012 in the summer. So we started touring full time in 2012. We did one tour with a different drummer, and something like wasn't working out with him. He couldn't commit to the band. I think like school was starting or something of that nature. And we knew Evan from a different band, and we, in so many words, stole him from that group.
We stole Evan, yeah.
So that's how we got Evan involved back in 2012, and then Ryan had joined in February of 2014. I believe was his first tour.
2014 was Ryan's first tour, and the joke with Ryan is he's still in tryout mode. We were trying him out in one tour in 2014, and I don't know, Ryan, have you made it yet? Are you in?
I don't know. I haven't received any kind of official welcome notice or anything. So
He's
I'm
been
still
trying
waiting.
out for bass for 7 years now. So
Which
Directing
just
music
means
videos, like
I was gonna
doing
say, if I'm
everything.
still trying out for bass, that just means I'm not a good bass player. So, it's all good.
still working out the kinks. No, he's great, and everyone's loved him since then, and he's been the best addition we could have asked for. So we've been together since then in that lineup for 7+
7
years.
years.
Yeah.
So, like you said, you soon jumped on tours with some very well-established bands. Congratulations, and gained the attention of a lot of new fans who really fell in love with your live shows. What is it about live shows, do you think, that fuels people in ways that watching or hearing a recorded performance just can't match?
I think our live show is our best part. I think that's just what we look forward to the most. We would actually prefer that someone hear our band for the first time at a live state champ show rather than even on record. I mean, either or is fine, obviously, but like I feel like your first perception of us would be great to just come to a show and rock out with us.
Yeah, I also just think like there's like a couple things I want to say here. One, I feel like a live show is just awesome because you're in a room, it's filled with people, and you're all there for the same thing, sharing the same moment. So there's that element of like, hey, like we're singing the same words, and I might like mosh with you or whatever it is. Like it kind of just like feels really good. But the other thing I think like why we want people to see our band at a live show first is there's a lot of people that are like way too cool and like just kind of stand there and like look badass, and we don't really like play into that. We just go crazy and like have fun, and like we have the coolest job in the world. We're gonna show you that on stage. We're happy to be here. We're happy that you're here. So we just go crazy and have fun, and like that element along with just being a good live band, I think really makes for a special performance.
Yeah, and our fans kind of, they feed off our energy as much as we feed off theirs. So, if they're giving it to us, if they're crowd surfing, if they're coming over the barricade screaming the words at us, it makes us want to lose our minds. And I think that's something that we've kind of done from day one is like Tyler said, make sure we're not too cool up there, just do whatever the music kind of instructs us to do. And that's what we always do. But in addition to that, I think that we're a band that kind of sounds pretty similar to our records. And I think people can appreciate that too, because I think we've all seen a band where we're like, what happened? Like, why does this band sound nothing like the song that I came to see, And, my favorite compliment is, after the show, like, how do you guys sound so close to the record? And I think that's kind of something that we're always chasing. So it's really fun to be a band that kind of, can get a pat on the back for that. Right.
Kudos to you for being legit in that sense.
We try.
So I think also it's due to a lot of you all had a lot of experience prior to being a group together. How do you think that played into your songwriting once you got started? Was it easy to create a sound that was soon to become your own?
I think we didn't really know what State Champs really was gonna sound like. We knew what our influences were, and we have some different influences between us. So I think that's what makes State Champs pretty cool. Is like when we talk about our favorite bands and like well influences, where there is some crossover and we have ones alike, but then there's some that are out of left field between us as members of the band that bring certain things into when it's time to write a song for State Champs. I'm a firm believer that there's no right or wrong way to write a song. Sometimes it's like in a group chat, little riffs that we send to each other, and then it combines over a long period of time. Then there's times where we just go to a studio in LA or something and meet up and we write and record a song in 1 hour and it's done.
Wow.
So there's plenty of different ways to do it. And I think that's what makes it so interesting is that there's different processes that get us there that make a whole record of ours. I don't know if you guys agree.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. I feel like also for us, like when we first started writing music, like no one really knows like what you sound like. You're kind of just emulating artists you like, oh man, this band does this and I know how to play that. So I can do something like a little bit to the left of that and like feel good about it. It's not so much like that anymore. We're not just like, oh man, like Yellow Card sounds like this, we should do that. But now it's like, it's a lot more organic, but Derek's right. We really write songs in 1,000 different ways. It could start with a riff. It could start with a word. It could start with a melody. Mm-hmm. Go anywhere.
I think the progression of our songwriting has totally changed too. Because I mean, those early records, it was a lot more of let's get together in a room, pick up an acoustic guitar, and play something together, or get in a room and just jam and see what happens. I think it's kind of more few and far between that style happening nowadays, because we live all over the place and technology has been like really great for us to, open up the floodgates, I guess, of our songwriting. We don't have to be physically together anymore, but I do think that kind of like shapes the sound in a different way too. I think you can listen to some of the songs that we wrote in a room together and kind of maybe tell that like band jam energy was happening there, as opposed to this kind of maybe sounds like a more pop constructed type song. And that's probably because we were focused on the structure of that song and, the different elements that were coming from different places.
Yeah, totally.
Well, wow. what a time we live in, right?
I know the technology, it's the future, man. Like you don't have to just plug in and play in a garage anymore. Obviously we can't even do that anyway, because we live in all different states in the country anyway. So we have to be proactive about that with every step of the way in our recording process.
And it's pretty new to us too. I mean, I think the pandemic like sped up the fact that, hey, we kind of need to figure out like a new way to do this, because we're unable to, not only meet, but like you said, we just live everywhere. So like, what are we going to do? How are we going to keep this train moving? And it was like, all right, somebody's going to need to kind of figure out how to use Pro Tools, and somebody's going to need to figure out how to program drums. And I'm going to have to figure out how to cut vocals at my house without sounding like I did it on a little, I don't know, snowball USB mic. That's what I started on, but yeah, a potato.
Yeah.
But how great is it though to get that final finished product that you did from your own home?
It's incredible.
Wow.
It's really cool. I got to do some of the leads back here at my house, and it's so weird just like DIing in, and it's just like a clean tone, and you're like, oh, what the hell is this? Like, sounds so weird. But then you get it back and you're like, oh my God, I kick ass.
Like, I did that.
That part fucking rules. So, yeah.
I want engineering credits.
Yeah, seriously. Give me the engineering
I'm a producer
credit.
now.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So let's talk about some of your tours and some playing you've done in the past. Like we mentioned earlier, you've played and toured with some of your favorite artists you grew up idolizing. What do you think led to your growth and your success right now the most?
It was one step at a time, I think, for us. We always set a list of goals, and when those goals get met, we try to add to it every time. Like, so there's never, the sky is the limit, and we're always like achieving more, or like, adding to the bucket list, if you will. First it was like, let's just go on any tour. Then it's like, let's go on a headline tour. Then we want to do Vans Warped Tour. And then we want to do an arena tour. So it's like, it was a gradual thing. But obviously coming up and like idolizing a band like Fall Out Boy and being influenced by them for 15 years. And then fast forward to whatever year it was that we did it, 2018. We did the arena tour supporting Fall Out Boy, and Machine Gun Kelly was also on the tour. It was just a surreal experience for us, playing sold out basketball arenas. And at that point too, we were a mature enough band that knew how to handle that setting. I think we were ready for it then. So it was all preparation to get to that moment, and it was a really rewarding thing. And also to like be around bands like that we grew up listening to, and realize that they're still just normal, like cool human beings as well. That was really rewarding too.
That was definitely going to be one of my points, was like, we all know that music reputation's everything. Like music matters, but when it comes to like bringing a band on tour, they want to know that you're, a good hang, not that you're, lame or a problem or a liability or whatever it is. So I think our reputation is pretty good amongst other artists. So, like you go on a tour, you meet bands, you get that they were cool. And then when we're talked about, casually, people want to be around us. I know that sounds insane, but
it's networking.
But we turn people down all the time because we're like, we don't really like them.
Yeah,
So,
that's great advice, though. No one wants to be with the band that are jerks.
Word gets around pretty quick. Don't be a jerk.
I bet.
Be a decent human being.
We just treat everybody like they're human. And most of the people that we don't like are people that don't treat people with kindness or respect, or like they're human themselves. like ego is not something that we appreciate around here. But I think
it's not easy to be on tour. I think like anything that you can do to make it a positive experience is totally worth doing. And I think as we've done so many tours over the years, we're realizing like new things that matter to us that maybe didn't matter to us before. And we're getting older. It's like we don't have all the time in the world to figure this out. So I think at the beginning it was it was just about like, let's go out there and be a really, really good band and just play our songs and have a good time. And I think that energy was infectious enough to, catch the eye of some other bands that are like, oh, this band looks like they really want it. And, we still want it after, 10 years. So I think that's really important.
Let's talk about your team. You mentioned in an earlier interview how you were lucky to have found the perfect team really early on in your career. When did you feel like you were ready to pursue music full time and actually search for a group of people that would help take you there?
I think it came down to when we signed our first record deal with Pure Noise Records. What year was it, Ty?
It was
2012.
It was either 2012 or 2011 because I remember sitting in my U.S. history class in college, and I brought my laptop that day, and I was taking notes when really I was like monitoring like the social media of the signing. I was like, "This is so sick!"
Oh my
from my
gosh.
class. But
I was in college
I was
as
still
well.
in college, so I think it was 11.
Yeah. And like we were working jobs, we were in college, and we didn't really know what the future held because we really wanted to pursue music as well. So the record deal came in, and our label, who we now love and are like our closest friends and like our best support system over the years, at that point they were like, if you guys are in school, you need to drop out. If you have a job, you need to quit it. You're going to buy a van. You're going to go on tour. This is your job now. And we were like, all right, let's do it. It was very nonchalant thinking about it back then. But little did we know that it would end up where it is now. Slow and steady process, but it felt like it all happened very fast.
Yeah, I do feel like we definitely sought out the label, but I do feel like we were more so approached by Nick because we were doing our own thing. Like we didn't have management or label. We were playing shows all over the Northeast. And I remember Nick coming to you by way of Jesse at 518.
True. Yeah, Nick, our manager, was kind of like, he sought us out because he was kind of an intern for a different management company at the time. We were his first band that he took on as a full-time manager. So coming up from the ground up together, him starting out into management and us starting out as a band full-time touring was a unique process because like we had something to prove all around. And I think we kind of climbed the ladders and took the necessary steps together. And it's been like that every step of the way for almost 10 years now. So like we take pride in that, always having the same team that we're so close with. And that goes along with booking agent and stuff like that. We've had the same booking agent for 8 years or so now too.
Wow.
And so not having to search around and find new people and gain trust and go through the steps of that has only benefited us, I think.
I think we found people who were young and hungry, and they still are. We've all grown together, and I think that makes such a difference, though, because like you'll hear about the band that gets signed to the major, and they get put with this agent who has X, Y, and Z giant band headlining giant festival, whatever, and then you just fall through the cracks. Like those people don't have to care about you. The people that care about us and look after us, like it's a symbiotic relationship. We do well, they do well. They're not padded by $500,000 salaries at their fucking crazy office or whatever it is. Like these are people who directly benefit from their hard work, and I think that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats.
Everyone needs to eat. So in 2010, you released a video of your first song, Ruth Tops.
Oh my God, we're going there.
Yeah, I'm going there. One of your fans commented, being such a huge fan of this band, seeing them perform in a room like this, just like my band does, is so inspiring, from where they were to where they are now. How does it feel to see things come full circle for you?
That was kind of emotional, you just reading that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That gave me chills. That's crazy.
Because I know exactly what video you're talking about, and I'm so embarrassed watching it now. But you reading a comment like that, like, yeah, that was the only way we could put ourselves out there at that point. Like, YouTube was new. Mm-hmm. Like, we probably put it on Facebook. We probably put it on MySpace at the time.
Yeah. Dave's playing like an electric guitar, and you were playing.
Yeah, we were just excited
like, what are you doing?
That was the first song we ever wrote, and it was probably the day that we wrote it. And we were like, we have to film ourselves playing it. Where are we gonna sit? We're gonna sit cross-legged in this dark room on a carpet. Like that's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna put it on MySpace, and hopefully people like it. And there's such a I don't know. We were very just being like vulnerable like that, but there's such a like youthful happiness to it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
No, I mean, that's just how band, like we started very organically. We were just a bunch of friends that wanted to play shows. We never ever thought we would even get here or where we got any time in the past. So if you see those videos and you think like, oh man, like that's so great. Like I see myself do this all the time. There's nothing counting you out from doing what we're doing, you know? So definitely take it as inspiration. We're the luckiest people in the world. We wound up here. So.
And also it didn't happen overnight. You know, you look back at those videos and you're like, yo, that was 10, 11 years ago. Like this doesn't just happen for bands like this. You know, you gotta put everything into it. And I think we have, which is cool to look back on something like that and see that.
Yeah.
You should go back and read some of those comments. That was just one of the many. And what's cool is that they're dated of like this year. So they're not just old comments. They're people that are going back and like, what are these guys up to? And oh, wow, this is so cool that they still have this,
in the rabbit hole
gold
old state champs videos.
Yeah, but that's cool. It's I'm so glad that you still have it up. And it shows people to, you know, keep your old videos. That way you can see how much you've grown. So
it's a little bit of a time capsule.
Right? Now younger bands are constantly covering your music. Even some of them naming their bands off of your songs. What advice can you offer people who are struggling to find band members, or maybe they just feel overwhelmed by today's state of music?
Today's state of music is totally different, man. It's like I see more and more kids just kind of saying, forget trying to start a band. Like, I'm just going to make music by myself. And I think it's easier now than ever to do that. You know, you don't need a lot of gear. You don't need a ton of friends to get in a room and jam. Like, you can make music yourself. And I think the ones that are kind of seeing some success and, you know, seeing some growth are the ones who really, really care and who are like, I'm just going to figure it out myself and do it. I was not one of those people growing up. So I was like, I need someone to bounce ideas off of. I need somebody to jam. So I'm glad that I found these guys, but it is super important.
Yeah. And like I said, there's still ways to get there, like with other people and collaborating or by yourself. I do get a lot of people that come to us at shows and say, man, I play guitar and I sing and I have all these songs written, but I can't find other people to like hang out and jam to be in my band. I'm like, well, just keep writing songs and be stoked on that. You're excited about the songs, right? Like, yeah, man, I want to keep going. Like, well, then you're there. Like, you're already halfway there. Like, focus on you, and then the rest will come as you go, you know? And if you find people along the way to collaborate with, just make sure it's only benefiting you. And it's like, it's benefiting both of you. And it's an actual collaboration process, not people just using you. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of collaborations, awesome collaborations, the official music video for your song Out of My Head just premiered. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stoked.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about the video and where people can find your song, download it, all that good stuff?
Well, the video is cool because, you know, when we were talking about what we wanted to do with it, it originally was just kind of going to be a let's throw it out there and see what happens type thing. So we were just going to end up doing a lyric video for it. And I just was like, I'm tired of seeing a lyric video. It's just kind of boring. It seems like a little bit uninspired. And, you know, I understand that there is value to them. People on YouTube love to like sit there and watch and learn the lyrics that way. But for us, like at this stage in our career, I was just like, I don't think that's enough. I don't feel like that's enough. So I asked the guys if they didn't mind if I just tried my hand at making a music video. And I'd never done it before, and it was a goal that I set for myself in 2019 to like direct a music video, and I just simply did not do it for whatever reason. And so these guys were cool enough to say, you know, whatever you want to do, we'll do it. And so I just got together with one of my friends, Lupe. He's an incredible videographer, DP, director. He's an awesome dude. He works for The Main. He does a bunch of other bands, and he was just down to like put our heads together and shoot something. And so it was just kind of like a fun little idea that we came up with and shot it all in a day and edited it the next day. And now it's out in the world for everybody to see. So I'm pretty pumped on it. It's my first try. So
yeah,
well, congratulations.
It was nice because we've done we've filmed a few music videos that are yet to come out, and those were the only ones we really had planned. So like doing some extra stuff that's just like, no, we want to do this, and like Ryan taking the creative control with that it only adds to it, and it makes things more exciting for the fans as well, because the reaction from them and the reception has been great so far.
My heart is on my sleeve, wear it like a bruiser, black eye. My badge, my witness, means that I believed every single lie you said. 'Cause every pane of glass that your pebbles tap and negates the pains I went through to avoid you. It's every little pat on your shoulder for attention fails to mention I still hate you. But there's a light on in Chicago, and I know I shouldn't be home. And all the colors of the street signs, they remind me of the pickup truck out in front of your neighbor's house. She took me down and said, boys like you are overrated, so save your breath. Loaded words and loaded friends, a loaded gun to our heads. 'Cause every pane of glass that your pebbles tap and negates the pains I went through to avoid you. It's every little pat on your shoulder for attention fails to mention I still hate you. But there's a light on in Chicago, and I know I shouldn't be home. And all the colors of the street signs, they remind me of the pickup truck out in front of your neighbor's house. You want apologies, girl, you might hold your breath until your breathing stops forever, forever. The only thing you'll get is this curse on your lips. I hope the taste of me forever. And there's a light on in Chicago, and I know I shouldn't be home. And all the colors of the street signs, they remind me of the pickup truck out in front of your neighbors. With every breath I wish your body would be broken again, again. With every breath I wish your body would be broken again, again. With every breath I wish your body would be broken again, again. With every breath I wish your body will be broken again.
It's the ins and outs.
Takes.
Ins and outs.
Takes.
With Mackie.
So I think this is a perfect time for our ins and outtakes, which is a rapid fire of random questions. Are you ready for that?
Ready?
good.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of music videos, you have some great concepts. What's your favorite?
I think Losing Myself is my favorite so far.
I
Water
think so
park.
too, because we
Really
got to
great
spend
video.
2 days at a water park for free. That was awesome.
Well, free, but
For
I
free.
know I know what you mean. We also have a video for our song "Hard to Please" off of our first record that it was like a hockey video, and looking back, like that was a pretty cool experience.
Oh
like
yeah, I don't know why I forget about that. That was our
we
first
always
music
count
video.
that one out, but yeah, dude, it's a really great video, and also the Just Sound video. So if I had to pick one, you could pick one of those three.
Who are some of the favorite artists that you've shared the stage with?
Fall Out Boy, Good Charlotte,
Nice.
5 Seconds of Summer, All Time Low. You guys?
Yeah,
Such a
I was gonna
tough
say
question.
Fall Out Boy, man. That was definitely a check off the bucket list for me for sure.
The All Time
Simple
Low one was
Plan.
huge for me too. Simple Plan was huge for me. Good Charlotte. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we really have enjoyed most of the people we've toured with. Luckily, we have a really great luck with who we go on tour with. I guess there's only a few stinkers in our tour history.
It's very
so.
rare that we don't get along with someone. So,
Right.
and it's more so appreciative when it's the ones that are, that we looked up to as well.
That's so awesome. Derek and Tyler, you have known each other since you were 13. What is your earliest band memory?
What was our earliest band memory? I remember buying our first van, our first little it's like a 80s family van.
It was
that's
a
cool.
95, first of all.
Okay,
It was
never
a
mind. 95, basically 80s.
Basically,
what?
it was a conversion van.
Let's go before that. What was before that? I think
wanna
of that
go back
YouTube
to, like,
video.
Well, are you talking about like first memories outside of state champs together?
What? Just whatever, man. What's your first memory of,
I'm
or
thinking of
something
state
that just
champs.
pops up?
I'm
Well,
thinking
when I go to not state champs, me and Derek used to be in two different metalcore bands, and we would play in this church basement named Trinity Church, and I have memories of Derek moshing to my band.
I used to.
Oh, that's
mosh.
cool.
I used to throw a spin kick or two in the
It
mosh
was-
pit
it
to
was the
Tyler's
sickest
old band.
thing.
And I was also 12. So
It was
what was I
awesome.
doing? Yeah.
He was moshing. He was having a great time. It was badass.
That's awesome.
Mems.
And now you're a band together. I love it. If you weren't musicians, what are other careers you would have liked to explore?
I think I'd probably be like an English professor or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's hard to say for me. I was in my third year of college when I dropped out. I was studying history, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to law school, as if it's like easy to do that. So like,
It wasn't.
who knows where I would have wound up?
I originally went to art school for graphic design. I still do a lot of graphic design and art related things for the band. So I could see myself doing that longer.
Oh, awesome. Does anyone have any super cool hidden talents not pertaining to music?
I can blow bubbles with my tongue. I'm not going to do it right now. That seems gross.
You can. I can confirm. I don't think I have anything crazy or weird.
It's not very cool. This is the first thing I thought of, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm blanking on
Ryan
any talent I
can do
may
the
have.
full monologue of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
When he
Oh my
hits
gosh.
with the
When
fizzy
he-
lifting
when
drinks.
When he screams at him for drinking the fizzy lifting drinks, he can do that whole monologue. Don't make him do it right now, but he can do it really good.
Anytime I do it, whoever's around me, their face just turns
It's
bright
so
red.
embarrassing.
We've had
That's
some
my
Willy
talent.
Wonka monologues on this show, so that wouldn't be the first time, believe it or not.
That's so odd.
Yeah.
Random.
Well, that's
Love
cool. When do you feel most motivated and inspired as a band?
I think when
think-
we're together.
Yeah, either when
Honestly.
we're together collaborating in a studio. I also feel motivated when I hear stories from fans at shows that say like, your music did this for me. It found my best friend, or it got me through this time. That makes me reflect a little bit more appreciative and motivated at the same time.
I could see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I do
definitely
love-
agree with that.
I do love hearing a story from a fan that gets me pumped about what we do. So it's a good one.
Awesome. Sorry, my dog was jumping up.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't know if that was you or Tyler.
No, it was me. I was like, oh no, stop.
Oh, my dog's playing with a toy right over here, squeaking a
She's
freaking.
chill, but every time there's like anything outside, she starts like making like chicken noises or like just I don't know. She gets
No
excited.
worries.
That's awesome. So, what's better, being a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond?
I think they both have their perks, but I
This
think
is true.
I would choose the big fish in a small pond.
Yeah. Every day.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Really?
We've spent days as both, and I think we choose big fish now.
Well,
I love it.
if you're a big fish in a small pond, it's easier to get started. But, if you think about all the bands that start in LA or New York or Chicago that just don't go anywhere because there's insane competition. But you're right. At a certain point, it does pay to be a smaller fish in a bigger pond. If you
We were-
liken that to like doing support tours or something.
We were the small fish in a big pond about 7-8 years ago when there was there was so many new young pop punk bands out there, and we had to wait it out and show our worth and pay our dues to become the big fish in the small pond, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Well, if you could tell your younger self something, what would it be?
Relax, man. Just chill out.
You're going to make it.
Yep.
It's gonna be okay. I mean, everything felt like life or death back then because we were like, fighting what felt like tooth and nail. So I took myself very seriously maybe 6 to 8 years ago, but I'm much more chill now.
Yeah, relax, have fun, have a blast, but take care of yourself.
Oh, also that.
Yeah, that's the biggest one that I've realized over the past like year and a half, 2 years. Is like, take care of your body, because it's gonna hurt when you get to my age.
It's gonna hurt.
Simply hurt.
It's gonna be really sore in a few years, man.
Things are gonna stop working.
Oh man. Definitely. My favorite question, who would play each of you in the movie of your life?
Owen Wilson.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's perfect.
Wow.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I was gonna say Shia LaBeouf for me.
Oh my gosh, this
That's
was just
perfect.
like
Somebody
too
do me
perfect already.
next. I don't watch enough movies.
Tyler.
Do I get like a? I'm not George Clooney.
George
Let's
Clooney.
go.
No,
Oh.
Tyler, you get is his name Miles something?
I
Miles
think
Teller?
Miles Davis.
No, Miles Teller.
What does Miles Teller look like? Hold on.
You'll know who it is when you see.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to Google this right now too.
Is it the
Miles
right guy
Teller.
though? Am I thinking of the right guy? Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
it's too awesome.
sure.
What about
why not?
Evan?
He's got a
What about
different nose
Evan?
than me, but I definitely could see it.
Yeah.
Evan
Did we
would be
pick one
played
for
by
Evan?
Eugene Levy.
Oh my gosh.
No,
I
he would
love
be played
that.
by the guy with the crazy eyebrows from Heroes, the Siler guy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna describe Eugene Levy,
Yeah.
The crazy eyebrows from American Pie.
American Pie guy. Yeah.
Nah.
I love it. So anything else? You have new songs, Just Sound and Out of My Head released.
We do. We have Just Sound came out about 2 weeks ago, and it's just the start of a new era, a new chapter. And then Out of My Head came out very recently too. And it's just kind of like the reintroduction to the new era of State Champs. And we're really excited to put even more songs out soon, and eventually a new album and more touring. And we're just as excited as we've ever been to get back out there now that it's time to get back into touring. And come out and see us, right? Come out to the show. We can't
Come
wait.
on out.
Yes,
Pure
they have.
Noise tour starts in a few days.
Yep. So we're ready.
You got Riot Fest coming up too, Ford Chord Music Festival. Make sure you all check out their pages so you can, check out the dates and make sure where they're playing in your town. You've also got a fan club titled the Champs Fam. How can people become a Champs fan?
You can go to statechampsny.com and click on the Champs Fam tab. There's a lot of cool benefits for it. We give a lot of like behind the scenes footage. You're the first person to ever hear. You'll be the first to hear new music when it comes out. First to get new
Right
tickets to tours. What else do they get? They get
Really cool behind the scenes stuff, exclusive merch, giveaways.
We got
giveaways.
some old live streams hosted under the videos, exclusive for just them, like our like holiday live stream we did and our 10-year anniversary live stream we did.
Yeah, and there's just a cool forum where you can chat with other members of the Champs Fam and find new best friends if you want, because that does happen.
Well, awesome. Before you go, who do you think we should have on the podcast next?
Turnstile.
They're a cool band. You should check them out if you haven't.
All right,
they're
all
popping
right.
off right now. Or like our friends in All Time Low, I think would be very good for this too.
Love it. Well, thank you, and good luck on all your touring and your new albums. We really appreciate having you here today with us.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having
Thanks for
much.
us.
having us.
Once again, I'm Jamie Hernandez, and this is the Ins and Outs with Mackie, a show about awesome gear and awesome people. We'll be bringing you musicians, engineers, podcasters, streamers, and sometimes the occasional Mackoid. If you're new to the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform to get all the latest Mackie updates as soon as they are out. And be sure to check that description on how you can win a mic. Until next time, Mackoids,
You're so good.
you're so good.
It's crazy.
Nuts with Mackie.
It's the future, man.
It's the ins and outs.